Hello, friends, and welcome back to the channel. A special live stream to celebrate a very large pickup I received. To see the final moments of that auction, you can check out Sammy Thunder's live stream, which I have linked below. You'll want to check out around 2 hours and 8 minutes in if you want to see the conclusion of that auction. And as such, to celebrate, I have gathered a collection of awesome YouTubers who are also owners of Plain Days Ruth cards. And invited them here to all show their wares and share in the joy of my new pickup. So in order to get things started first, I did make a special introduction that is, you'll see when you see it, you'll see it's my style. So let's get this thing rolling.
We should probably get started.
You are all probably wondering why you are here.
Why are we all here? Free drinks?
No.
Free food!
Definitely not.
Attractive young people.
So why are we here?
They wanted to see.
Who?
A legend.
Who do they want, Elvis?
I don't think so.
Who did?
Who is Babe Ruth?
That's correct.
What do you want to say next?
Babe Ruth.
And then.
Babe Ruth.
And then
And then?
Babe Ruth!
And then?
Babe Ruth is pretty good too.
And then
Bino, Babe Ruth, something to swap, Bill Yankee Stadium.
Come on, Stud.
Babe Ruth was a superhero. He was a Superman.
What else?
The Great Bambino! I wonder.
Wonder what?
His favorite.
Who?
John?
Like right now.
Right now?
Yeah.
I'll bet I know.
Between Babe Ruth and Hitler.
Enough's enough.
All right. Thanks, everybody, for coming. As you can see, I got a who's who of the YouTube collecting community here, starting, with the squares next to me. Orlando, A Collector's Dream. Thanks for coming. And then Darren, Return to Collecting.
thanks for having me, John.
Next row, the Mangini, John Mangini. Chris from Missouri. Vintage Oddball Cards, Rick. James, Elite Hunters. And last but not least, DK Cardboard, Doug, also known as Dougie K at times. Welcome. Welcome, everybody.
Hey, what's up?
Thanks for having us on, John.
We have a Subway series going on down here.
Okay.
Anytime I could be
But,
on with Dougie K, I'm winning.
All right. So let's just quickly check in with the chat. We got Vintage Goats and Andrew Deutsch here. We've got Billy Ballgame. Welcome. Eric, Detroit Collector. Peter B. Brian Hodges 1455. Battery Carlisle Rude. Welcome, everybody. So, all right. So our mission here is to show some cool Plain Days Ruth cards. So to kick things off, since he I think brings the most cards, let's get started. Let's let Rick start first, but we've got our showcase mode here. And let's bring Rick into the big square. So you want to kick us off, Rick?
All right, so I got some roofs to show you, some pretty common, some rare, but I'm going to show you first off my very first roof, probably around 2002, and it's a strip card. It's a W517 here, and the reason I got this one is the one I could afford back in 2002. Probably, we don't normally tell prices, but it was like $200 or something. So back then, it's something I could afford. And these were kind of interesting because it's a strip card, but it's bigger than the normal strip cards. and there was 3 vertical cards to a strip, I believe. And you see them out there at the National. You have a card, for instance, on top, bottom, there's a dotted line that people would cut, cut the cards. I saw somewhere where there was a box, actually, it was a penny for a sheet, the vertical sheet of 3. And you would kind of like a mailbox pull them out of the box. And it's blank back, as you can see. And it's a 1.5. So
nice.
I don't know. These are kind of pretty cool because you actually have a photo here, for a strip card. And it's a little bigger size than the average card. So this was my very first Ruth. My second Ruth was another strip card, and it's the W512, fairly common. This one here, maybe one of you have this one already. It's kind of cut. I got something on the sleeve there, but cut nicely. And a 2.5 blank back. I think this was of the strip cards, I think a multi-sport set, or actually actors and other, famous people. I'm not sure. I don't remember how many baseball cards, the baseball players were in the set, but that was my second Ruth sometime in the early 2000s. You want me to keep going, or do you want?
Yeah, you can show a few more because you have the most.
All right, how about one of the most beautiful cards, the 33 Gaudi. And this one just pops for a 1.5. The clarity on it, a lot of times it's not very clear. It has some banged up corners. But this is a very popular Ruth card. Let's see the back. What it looks like. The reason I got it was just, it was just appealing. I mean, you can see how nice it looks for a 1.5. And these are, it's pretty crazy. Most of I'd say at least half of these cards, I picked them up before the pandemic, where the prices were, half or quarter what they are going nowadays. So you can never go wrong with picking up any Ruth, whether it's a strip, any kind of any Ruth card. Doesn't even have to be plain day cards. You're ahead of the game. So that's that one. I'm at 3. Do you want me?
All right, we'll switch to someone else. Let's go with how about James? You want to go up?
Sure. I have as many as Rick, but I guess piggybacking off that Gaudi, this is my favorite one, and it's number 181. When I looked to pick up a Babe Ruth, this was the one that spoke to me. I love the image, much like Rick's first one, where it has a really good picture of his face. I wanted something to show his face. And I like all the Ruths in general, but this is the one that just did it for me. And I was ecstatic when I picked this one up, being a Yankee fan. That's why I got my Yankee garb on. Got to represent for Ruth. And he's the man, the best in baseball for so many decades. And what's funny about this one was I was at odds with his brown hat. I didn't know why they put him in with a brown hat. So I was a little bit on the fence for a little while, but then I was like, you know what? The hell with it. I just love the pose and the image, and I love it now. And then I only own 2. I'm not like Rick, but this was a recent one, which I got snapped out and reholdered from SGC. It was in an ASA holder. And I just simply love the image of Ruth looking at a Titanic shot, possibly during batting practice. And you don't see images like this of Ruth And the tone on this is so beautiful. It's an African tobacco from 1939. And they have two types that are, this is a smaller version. They have a bigger version. And he's the only baseball player in that set. And they figured to have the best baseball player in their set and commemorate him with this set. I just simply love this one. I actually traded for this Mickey Mantle 1965 card that was autographed by Mickey Mantle. And the card I had was worth less than this card, but the guy was a huge Mickey Mantle fan, and he was willing to take the hit. And I was glad to come up on this one. So we shook on it, and that's how I got my Mantle, and I crossed it over afterwards. I mean, not my Mantle, my Ruth.
Nice. All right. I know Mangini's got quite a few, so let's give him a turn here.
Hi, everyone. I'm going to start off with the 1932 Abdullah and Company. This is a German-issued card. Babe Ruth was the only baseball player in the set. I saw this years ago in a magazine and wanted it ever since. It's a very scarce card. PSA has graded 23 of these.
All right, in case everybody heard that, drink. You drink whenever Mangini says rare or scarce, right?
I love that they spell America K-A at the end. America. Yeah, there's no team listed. It's Babe Ruth America. And there's nothing more American than Babe Ruth and apple pie. Here is another scarce one. This is 1926 Spalding. These cards were virtually unknown until 1990 when there was a big find of them. And it's a pretty scarce set. There was another find a few years later. Before that, nobody really knew these existed, but this is, again, 1926 Spalding. And they had a few different versions on the back. Some had advertising. This one's the dated version. And the reason I believe these are so scarce is you could get this coupon for 10 cents, and you could turn the cards in for this coupon to buy sporting goods. So kids probably put, getting a new glove or something over top of keeping the card. And I'll show you one more, then you can move on. I'll show you something different. This is a 1924 Mrs. Sherlock's pin. Mrs. Sherlock's was a bread company. And for anybody that wants a Babe Ruth item and maybe can't afford the cards, the pins are generally more doable.
All right. Thank you. All right. Let's pull down Orlando over there.
Okay. Let's do it. So my first Ruth ever was, let me get this hat off here. Sorry about that, guys. My first Ruth ever, I found in a collection when I was a dealer back in the 1980s. And I had somebody come up to me with a group of these. And nobody knew what they were back in the day when I first got them. He went around to all the dealers, and then he came to me. And I made a deal, and I got these off of him, and he had this and a few others. And I ended up falling in love with this set. This is the 49 Leaf Premium. And this basically is like a box topper, but it's a box bottom. They would put this in the bottom of the 1949, 48, 49 Leaf, they're 49, but 49 Leaf boxes. And then the last person that would buy the last pack, the vendor would give them the poster that was there. And there were 8 different posters, all Hall of Famers. And of course, you know, there's a Babe Ruth and Lou Gehrig and a few others. And then later on, when they continued with the short print, so these are they're rare, but they're, you know, you can find some of these. I know Mangini has one. They're blank backed. And after that, Leaf, when they did their other distribution, they changed out the Ruth and they put this Ruth, which is a different version of it, and it just has his picture with a facsimile autograph down here. And this one, you can see it's the well, it doesn't say, but it's the no bio version of it. So that's the no bio version. So that one was rare. This one is rarer, and this is the rarest one. And you're not going to see this anywhere. This is the final version, and this one, again, it's the 49 leaf premium Babe Ruth with the blue background. And this was in the short print boxes where you would have the Satchel Paige card and all that. This was the last version of it that was put in the final 49 leaf cards. And they're blank back. You can see what they look like in the back. They're all blank back. So that's my trifecta 49 leaf premiums, Ruths, the rare and rarest.
All right.
Wow.
Thank you. All right, let's give Darren a shot here.
Hey guys. So I have 2 Playing Days Ruth cards. The first one is the Type 2 Sinella Margarine card. Type 1, similar. The Sinella is in the middle, and the Type 3 basically looks like this, but it's numbered. Picked this one up at the Denver card show. It's funny. I was at the show, and I wasn't looking for a Ruth card, but I saw this one, and the price was right, so I picked it up. And then about 20 minutes later, I found this one and picked up the 33 Gaudi number 53. Here's the back of that one. So I picked this one up at the same show. So this was a fun conversation when I called my wife on the way home, and she said, "Hey, what'd you get?" I said, "I bought a Babe Ruth card." She goes, "You got a Babe Ruth card?" I'm like, "Oh, I got 2." And she was super thrilled to hear that. Yeah, I absolutely love this one. I love all the 33 Gaudis, but I like this yellow one, and then the green one that James had. Those are kind of my 2 favorites. But since they didn't have the green one at the show, they had this one, so I picked this one up. But those are my 2 Playing Days Ruths.
All right, thanks, Darren. I guess let's circle back around to Rick since you've still got a pile. Thanks.
All right, so how about this one? Get ready to get your drink out. This is rare. It's a 1925 Drake's Cake, Ruth. Now, Drake's, as you have collected over the years, they have a 1950 version cards, right? 1950 Drake's, and the 1980s, right? They had some Drake's Cake cards, or 80s and 90s. Well, this is the very first one, 1925. Now it says 1925. Of course, they labeled it wrong. It's actually 1932. I think grading companies probably still, because everyone knows this is 1925, but the reason 1932 is it was a movie set, actor set. So he's the only baseball player, athlete in the complete set. You have, all the different stars in the 30s, but he was the only athlete. And it says down here, Babe Ruth Universal Pictures. So it's all the actors who, participated in Universal Pictures. And his first Universal picture was all those shorts in the 1932. I don't know, fancy, whatever, different 4 or 5 different shorts. You can find them on YouTube. So anyway, most likely this is a 1932 card, not 1925. I love the back. And basically, these were placed in the packages. I believe it was called Yankee cakes or something like that, packages of Yankee cakes, and it was one per pack. So when I saw this, I had to have it to pick it up. Now, anyway, it's in a 1, and the reason it's a 1, well, it has a little pinhole on one side. It can barely, right there where my finger is. So who cares? You know, I couldn't even, I had to find it. So that's that. Let's see here. How about I've shown this one before, but a bunch of times. One of my favorites is the 27. American Caramel. The last year they produced cards. And this one is, I don't know, I just love this card. It has a little gloss to it. It makes it different than the 20, what year is that? The 22. And different, I mean, it's him, only 2 of him here, and the 22, there's 3 of them. One, he's down below in the field. And love the back here. So this might have been my most recent Ruth pickup. And let's see, one John showed here. And I purchased this one from someone on Net 54. And the value, these tend to have, I mean, I'm sure when John purchased his, they were pretty inexpensive for Ruth cards because people just don't want to buy foreign Ruth cards. They're going to go American all the way. And from Germany, you can see. So, I mean, I just love this card. If you can find this at a decent price, it's just a beautiful card in person to pick up. So, good. You want me to keep rolling?
All right. Let's, speaking of foreign Ruth cards, let's give Doug a chance here. Oh, you're muted.
Yes,
there you
now
go.
I feel like I'm at work. All right, good start. So mine, I'll show it real quick. This is my one and only. So it's 1929 Churchman with an image of Ruth. This same image was on a Japanese postcard, a Shonen Club postcard. And this fits my collection in that I have a lot of baseball cards that are in foreign sets of games around the world. And this is I think that the theme of this set was games in many lands. There's another USA card for football. And there is a hunting card for Alaska. Alaska being another foreign land that was not yet a U.S. state. It was just a U.S. territory, which is interesting. So, but this is the one of 2 USA cards, the baseball card that depicts Babe Ruth. And I love this image. I was conveniently going after this image. It's one of the more affordable playing days Ruth cards. And it's not, it also doesn't say Babe Ruth on this card. However, the Shonen Club card, which has the same imagery, does on the labels of PSA and SGC, it says Babe Ruth. So take that for what it's worth. And this is it. This is my one and only. And I love that image.
Can I interject?
Sure,
I
can.
Read somewhere that I think on Net 54 that the grading companies, I'm not sure when PSA or SGC is no longer putting Ruth on the card itself for that.
No, you mean for Shonen Club?
Well, I'm not sure. Isn't there Shonen Club?
Okay. There are SGCs. There are SGCs that mark this one as Ruth.
Okay. Okay.
But not PSAs.
Okay.
Okay. So that's interesting. So you can't reslab it and ask to have Ruth in the name.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
We all know
on
it's
the 54 said they're no longer doing it or whatever.
Yeah. it's convenient that they have Ruth in the Shonen Club one, and it's the exact same image, and it's the exact same year.
Yeah,
Yeah,
it's
John,
kind of crazy.
can I go next? Because
go ahead.
I can piggyback off of that.
Sure.
Yeah, so the shown postcard that he's talking about is this, with the Japanese writing, and of course, he is correct. That is the same image. So
I love that postcard. That's
since you were talking about it, I thought I'd just show it.
Yeah, love it.
And you know, I brought this in Orlando. Man, he stole my thunder. He shows all three of them. Do you have the regular leaf?
No, I do not.
Oh, you don't? I'll show that one then. I love this card. You know, this card gets a lot of hate.
It does.
I don't know why it sells for so much. It's after playing day, this and that, but I think it's a beauty. You know, the 1933 Sport King Ty Cobb is an after playing days card too, and I love that too.
Yes.
Yeah, that background and the blue.
And the T205 Addy Joss is a after playing days. I love that one too. And then I just wanted to pick up on the Sonella. I just wanted to give a little more information. There's there were originally 3 versions they claimed, and then they added a 4th version, which I think is bogus. I can't tell the difference between the two. So I know for a fact there's 3 versions, and all that is where the Sonella margarine is in the back, where the Sonella is. So some of them are at the top, some are in the middle, and some are at the bottom. I'm not much of a back collector. I had the Type 1 and Type 2, and years ago I sold the Type 2 just to buy another card. So because I really don't collect the backs. But anyway, those are what the different versions are. It's just basically where the Sonella is. Okay, somebody else can go.
All right, Chris, you ready for some?
Sure. With all these great cards showing, I feel like I just entered my 1974 Pinto station wagon in the Indianapolis 500. But the first one I am going to show is a couple that just recently showed, and that's the Churchman as well. And the reason I'm showing this is James down there. He actually had me on YouTube for the first time at a show when I was buying this card, and I just love it. And it does not say Babe Ruth on the card, but it's one of my favorite ones. And then I'm going to show you a card. It's not even close to playing days cards, but I'm going to tell you why I love it so much. And this is this 1976 Babe Ruth. And probably a lot of people in the chat have this card, but used to play a game back in the day that would put your line up against somebody. A buddy of mine next door would get our cards out, but we could only count the cards that had the stats on the back. And it was so cool to get a Babe Ruth card with his playing day stats on the back of that card. So I actually love that card. Another card, I'm going to get through a few of them till I get down to better playing days cards. But here's the Kellogg's Babe Ruth 1972. And you guys know that in 62 they came out with a little Babe Ruth series. You got this one, Huggin' Lou Gehrig. The other one I'm going to show is just a nice, almost like that Churchman, but different. And then in 61, he had this card. Same year that Roger Maris broke the record, right? And then one I really enjoy is this 61 Golden Press. Love that card. The 54 Scoops. And the 52 Look and See. So I got through those fairly quick, but I have a 1932 Babe Ruth flip book. Love how it presents inside there sideways like that. Just took me a long. A lot of guys wouldn't display their stuff like that, but I'm lucky enough to get it stuck in that side right there.
Oh, geez.
And I don't want to crack it because I don't think it can be slabbed. I don't think they're re-slabbing those. And then I have a few more, but the last one I'll let somebody else go. Is this 1932 Bulgaria Babe Ruth and Max Smelling card?
That's a cool card.
Nice.
Yeah. So it took me a while to get down to a cool card, but I got it.
All right. I think, Rick, you've still got quite a few to go, so let's bring you back.
Okay, so these are kind of cool. All Ruth cards are cool, but this is a 1928 George Ruth candy card. And what's interesting, he's in a LA Angels uniform, and it's a movie called Babe Comes Home, 1927 movie that they can't find. I guess there's not a movie out there. No one, whatever. When I researched it, it's lost, basically. And it was I understand that it's kind of funny is that the premise is Babe's a slob. He's dating this gal, and he chews tobacco. She wants him to quit chewing tobacco. And at the end of the movie, she looks at him. He's in a slump. She looks at him, winks at him, puts a big chew in there, and hits a home run. So Babe comes home. On the back here is kind of what it looks like. There were 6 cards to the set. This is King of them all, home run candy bar. His candy helped him. So kind of cool. This one here, similar. It's the same year. This is the 1928 Frojoy Ruth ice cream. And you don't see any with him actually fielding the ball, but here's one. Again, 6 cards to the set. They had a promotion. You buy an ice cream 1 week. Promotion, you buy an ice cream each day, you'd receive a different card for that week. And this is actually the last one, card 6. So these are pretty tough. What's cool about this, it's hard to see here, but there's actually a fingerprint right here of some kid, ice cream. And on the back here, it says, a chock full of youth units. And the funny too, it says Ruth is a crack fielder. So it's really cool. Love this, I probably will not continue. There's some of them, that's with the George Ruth. There's some with them with a kid. There's one with his wife. Tend to like the ones with when he's actually in a uniform.
Isn't there one in that set where it's zoomed in on his hands?
I'm sorry?
That's it. That's the same set.
Yeah. That one's, I think, the least popular.
And there's also a fantastic premium. It's like a paper premium.
Yeah.
Very, very thin.
Yeah. And then this one, I'll say rare, is from France. And this is the picture from the Japan tour. He's in Tokyo Stadium here. And Indiana, supposedly, it was a Indians in the set. You had Avon is planes, so a little of everything in the set. Total beater, but a cool photo. I think they used this one for publicity sake. From what you see of this, I've seen many photos of this one.
What year is that, Rick?
It's 35-36. I'm not, you're not going to have me pronounce it. Is it Donate? I'm not sure how to pronounce it. The confectionery issue, basically. And really don't know how they, when I researched it, how they actually distributed these. But most of them are pretty beat up, and I don't know, pop is very low, 3, 4, 5 type thing. I mean,
Those remind me of the swells. What is it? That like the 1948? Was it? I don't know what year it is, but the swells.
Oh yeah, I forgot to grab that one.
so I can keep going. Let's see here. How about okay? How about a Harrington's, 1928 Harrington? And I picked this one up last year's National. They're all coming together, but and this was actually owned by Josh Stottlemyre one, Jay Stottlemyre one. And when I showed him, he goes, "Hey, I used to own that. Was used to be my card." So a lot of these cards are kind of recycled, you know, where they're not, pop is what, I don't know, what, 50, 60. And so a lower grade one, it probably comes up for auction. So I actually, when I purchased something, I sent them to Josh, he goes, "Yeah, that's my card." And what I kind of like about it, it's a beater, but it has a darker background. A lot of the ones like this are faded even in a higher grade. And love, I don't know, this is him in a Boston uniform pitching. Just, I don't know. Love, heck, I love them all. But so anyway.
All right. So we got Orlando still has some, Mangini's got some, and Chris has got some left, I think. So
yeah.
Let's unload some more. I guess Mangini says.
Okay, he mentioned the
These are the
1948 swell. That's what that looks like. He's coming across home plate there. These were handed out. They were physically handed out when you bought 2 pieces of bubble gum, Blony bubble gum.
Nice.
This is a rare one. This is a 19. Oh man, 1928, I believe. 28 W572. I saw this image on, you know, the cutout, the Nielsen's chocolate and the cutout version. There were many different versions with the ornate border. And Rick, you have a card with this pose. So I've always loved this pose. And years ago, I had the opportunity to pick this up with the same pose. These are strip cards. They're hand cut cards. W572, very rare cards.
Love that. That's a rare card. That's
yeah. Now here's this is a 1927 W560, and these were little. They were like playing cards, and they're also strip cards. I'm not sure how many were in the strip, but I've seen one with Freddie Lindstrom underneath him, with 2 of them connected. But in 1927, W560, this is the Joker. He's one of the Jokers. Jimmy Fox is a Joker in this set, and it's really his rookie card from 1927. But I believe this is the only Babe Ruth card. I'm not sure. I could be wrong. And Rick, you can correct me if I'm wrong, or Orlando. You can't find 1927 issues. And what's so special about that is 1927 is when he broke the home run record and hit 60 home runs. Yeah. And they also swept my Pittsburgh Pirates in 4 games in the World Series. Blank backs. Here is a scarce and more obscure one. This is 1933 Eclipse import, and it's a cartoony one. And these cards are very scarce.
That has to be his ugliest one, right?
Yeah. No. That one strip card's the ugliest one. There's a strip card worse than this.
Those are tough.
I saw one where somebody had. This is not that bad of a card. It's cool looking because it's probably produced over in Taiwan or something. These things were probably so cheap for a kid. Like you probably got a bunch of them for a penny or something. They just remind me of those cheap toys you used to buy as a kid. And let's see here. This is interesting. This is you know what would we have? You know the viewfinders we had as kids, some of us. You know the viewfinders. You put the disc in. Well, they in the early days they had the stereoscope, and it was a wooden holder, and you'd put this in there. And this features Babe Ruth and Tom Mix. So when you look through there, it was full images of these guys. It's an interesting piece. Here is a 1929 Cashin publication. And these came in boxes that look like this. There were 4 different colors. So you could see the card when you were at the store. You could see part of the card. And they came in these boxes. A little oversized, but a beautiful set. Here is a Rick. I'm drawing a blank. These are 1934, right? This is a Gaudi Premium.
I think so. I don't have one.
34, 35, I think they are.
And so these were stand-up. These were stand-ups. So they came with this on the back, so you could open it up and stand it up to display it. And you could still find the backs intact, but most that you see probably won't have the back intact. So I like this copy because of that. And then they also had a team issue card, and it's the American League All-Stars that features him and Garrick, among many other great players. So same deal. Meant to stand up. And these are among my favorite all-time premiums, along with this one. And this is a 1934 Butterfinger. And this is one of mine. These are paper thin. And they were Butterfinger premiums.
That's really
and for anybody that doesn't know what a premium is, it's essentially when you have to mail in labels and they send you out a picture.
I love that one.
Proof of purchase. Should I take a break or keep going, John?
Let's go back. Orlando's got some more to show.
Okay. Yeah. Yeah, you know, you were talking about 1927, and that was the big year for the Babe. And it's true, they didn't produce many cards in that year, except Rick's got one there that he showed earlier. But I do want to show my Harringtons. And what I love about mine is you could see that it's a little bit bigger. It's kind of like an oversized Harringtons. If you looked at Rick's, it has thinner borders. And for some reason, this one is a little bit wider and a little bit bigger than the normal ones look like. And it's a 3.5. And what I love about this is, you know, he had his big, this one has, you can see the ice cream stain right there. See it on that corner, well, the other corner here, where I'm holding it, right there. It's got the ice cream stain also on there. And what I love about this is that it says that if you, if they gave you this with your ice cream, you could return it and get another ice cream, a free ice cream. So that's why you don't see a lot of the Babe Ruths, because if they gave you this at the store, you can come back and redeem it. And then if you completed the whole set, you could redeem it for an entire gallon of ice cream. So that's why these and the Yinglings are tough to find, all these ice cream cards. And the other one I wanted to show is that Rick showed that 1927, like the montage. This is the montage version that shows all three, where it shows him, the portrait, him standing up, and then in the bottom, it shows him kind of in the field. And this is the I can't get a good thing. The 1922 E121 American Caramel. And in this year, they produced 3 different cards of the Babe. One that he's holding a bird, one he's holding a ball, and this one, which is the montage version of it. And in the back, you can see again, it just shows American Caramel, baseball stars. and it came with a piece of caramel that they gave along with the card. So
That's
this is
such
one
an
of the
awesome
more
card, Orlando.
it's one of the more popular ones because it has kind of 3 different versions of the Babe, and it says Babe Ruth, New York Americans on there. So I know this is Petty's favorite card from the Babe. So it's the 1922 E121 American Caramel.
Sweet.
I got one
All
more to
right,
show, but I'll leave that to the end.
Rick's got some more.
Yeah, I know that.
Okay, so this is similar to what Orlando just showed, but this is his 27 York caramel card. Same image, as you can see. And there's 2 types, type 1, type 2. And type 2 came out, it says here again 27, but 1928. This is a tougher version for whatever reason. And I mean, I don't know. This speaks to me, this card. Like back what it looks like. And all these companies were really close together. You know, the Harringtons, the Yorks, and within like a 100-mile radius. So I imagine might have been the same printer that printed all these out. We don't know any of these cards really who printed them, but you can imagine since they're right there, 4 or 5 different companies. This one here is the 1923 Maple Crispet Ruth, and from Canada. And they're known for, they also had a hockey set. And, you know, you can find these, not necessarily the Ruth online, but you can find, you know, common players. These are really cool cards. Not that expensive. Let's see back. You would be able to win a ball, bat, or glove. And of course, even back then, they short printed 1 card. So screw the kids, basically. And that was the Casey Stengel card. I don't know if maybe I haven't really checked on the pop Casey Stengel. I don't even know if there's one out there, but this is really cool. Maple Crispet. This one here, Orlando just showed, the 22 version, 1922. And this one, John's gonna want this. John wants this one. I made actually a video of this one because we're always in the chat giving each other the business. And this here is the 1922 W573.
Yep, that's the one.
And these are tough. I think pop on this, like 15 pop. And what makes it tough is they're a strip card and they're vertical strips, 10 cards. 10 cards now. You can imagine 10 cards trying to, you know, it just didn't survive. But the kid had these suckers and you would cut them. And the reason it's authentic is because up top here, you can see on one side, it's not exactly straight across, but blank back, no creases, beautiful image of him. You know, so really cool to have this one in my collection. And I don't know, I could keep going, or are we good right now?
I guess, Chris, you want to show a few more then?
I got 6 more, basically.
Okay, so we'll need to come back to you at least one more time.
Yeah, I got a couple more before the last one, but first I want to show this. You got to watch out on these. Sorry, guys, I'm trying.
Yeah,
so,
sweet.
Wow.
So who knows? I'm waiting on a response to see if this is real or not. It's got a nice little silver tag, but anybody can put a silver tag on a ball. I want to you guys have shown this, but I want to re-show it since we have different people on here. If you're looking for a playing days Ruth and you don't have one, this is not a bad one to start off with. It's still a little pricey. I used to not like oversized cards, but I have now changed my mind. I don't know if it's because I'm a little oversized now myself, but I'm starting to like this. But again, you guys it's a Sonella Type 2, and nice little playing days.
Well, maybe it's those new card stands from the Drew, because now they don't fall over.
That could be. That could be. And then the one the last one I'm going to show you until you tell me to show something is a 1924 WUNC strip card, and it's a blue duotone. And the paper is just really thin on this thing right here, and and it's not the glare or anything. It's really, this is about how bright it is, and but it's a nice little playing day strip card, and this is one of the first ones that I consider a playing days card that I picked up right here. I don't know the pop report or anything like that.
Those are tough. Those are tough too.
Yeah, there's not very many of those ones.
Well, then John Mangini, it is rare. That's a rare card here, buddy.
All right. Speaking of Mangini, I guess we'll pull you back here.
Okay. Here I have a 1930 Rhea print. Now the Rhea print from 30 and the very rare Photo Fun sets were the first self-developing cards. So this is what the card looks like. And it came with a kit. Came with some paper, and it came in this envelope. And it came with this thing to develop them. And these were made by MP and Company. These are called the 1930 Rayo print. And then the MP and Company made another version in 1948 with a great image of them. Here is a
Hey, John.
Yeah.
How that's so cool. I didn't know about how rare was that one.
I don't know, to be honest with you. I don't see them.
Yeah, I've never seen it.
And I never looked up any kind
before.
of
That's not
pops
one
or
of the
anything.
ones listed like in VCP.
Yeah, I don't know. Yeah, I never looked up the pops, so I'm sorry. This is a Quaker Oats pin. And he had a number of pins with them. Fan club pin, that's a really common one. And this shows him with Boston. There's another version where he is in a Yankees hat. That one's worth, well, I don't know what it's worth, but it sells for a lot more, or they ask a lot more for it. And it has a little keeper in the back, so you could keep track of balls and strikes and what inning it was and what the score was. If you were playing ball with your friends.
Well, if Carlisle Root's here, that makes him happy.
It's a fantastic pin. I had something similar as a kid, and I have no idea whatever happened to it. Along those lines, this is a 1939 centennial stamp. It's celebrating the centennial of baseball. A more inexpensive Babe Ruth item. Here's a 1950 Menko Japanese card. I wanted to show. I only grabbed a few after playing days. Like, I had these two, Chris, that you were showing. But so I don't have all the greats and everything. But I did want to point this one out. Oftentimes people don't know what it is. This is a 1969 Globe imports.
Right. Yeah.
And this was not part of the other set that has Mantle and Mays and everybody. That was a baseball only set. This was a set of famous people movie stars and stuff, and Babe Ruth was the only baseball player in it, and it was a separate set, and these were handed out at gas stations. So I just want to point that out. Should I finish off or save, John?
Just you have the one left?
No.
Or do you have more?
I have 2 plus that 1.
All right. Well, let's save those and let's go back to Rick, I guess.
Okay.
Okay, so this one is the 1934 Worldwide Gum. And you're going to say, how's this a 1? Because this looks like right out of the pack.
I'm not going to say that, Rick.
Beautiful.
So look at that thing.
I'm going to say that's a beautiful card.
And Worldwide Gum, as most of you probably know, it's a Canadian version of the Gaudi. And for whatever reason, when I purchased this, the pop on these is really, compared to the Gaudi card, relatively low. But for whatever reason, the Gaudi, the American version, goes for more than the rarer or tougher ones. But the reason this is a 1, and it looks like this on the front, is it was taken out of an album.
Ricky, it's still the case that the Worldwide Gum goes for less than the Gaudi?
I'm not sure now, but time, a couple of years ago, definitely a couple of years ago it did, which is kind of, it's kind of surprising me because, I mean, I don't know. I'm just throwing out there. Pop maybe of this is a couple hundred, maybe. I don't even know. But a Gaudi would be like 1,000.
Yeah, I haven't seen a lot of collectors really care. Like they want one or the other. I don't know.
Yeah. Okay. So anyway,
I don't know why that is.
This one here, I know John is hoping to pick this one up one of these days, and that's James showed his.
That's the one I want. Yep.
And it's kind of just, I mean, just the outline's really cool on it, you know, with the hat, uniform, and so forth.
Rick has all my dream cards.
Rick has everybody's dream cards.
Maze, would you please? So this is really cool.
I need Rick to adopt me.
This one here is not as, you know, the 33 Sports King, Ruth.
Wow.
Now this one, as you can see, it's totally rounded here, but the borders, the borders weren't, you know, it's pretty much the card went right up to the edge, but you can see it's definitely rounded. And I think this is the one of them, I think I picked this one up 2019 Christmas Eve on eBay. That was my present, Christmas Eve.
Nice.
And
that one's always eluded me too.
That's a tough one.
And you know, way too expensive nowadays to upgrade it, but you know, it does have the rounded corners. And now this one, I think somebody showed this. I think Chris did. And this is relatively inexpensive for Ruth. So that's that. And I have this one here. I showed the other U.S. Caramel Ruth. And these weren't that popular. It says 33, or what does it say? Actually, it says 32, but I think it was more like 33, 34 on these. And they weren't popular with the kids. As you can see, the images are not that great. So apparently they didn't sell a lot of these. So you don't see them very often. And I should have, when I picked this up in an auction, they also had the Lou Gehrig. And I mean, these have exploded. A matter of fact, I saw when I was at the National last year, I saw one that said they had it for like $4,000. Hey, that's a great deal. Lou Gehrig, $4,000. No, he wanted $14,000 for it. I thought it said just 4,000. So anyway, that's cool. So I have one more, but I can come back to that. It's kind of my favorite one. So
Okay. Well, I think we're close to done. Let's.
Okay.
How about John? You want to do your last two before the finale card?
Yeah, man, I want to go watch the heavyweight championship fight. This is a 1934 Quaker Oats Premium. Blank back. This was I just saw this on Chasing Cardboard, and they didn't say what it was, so I text Mike. I said, if you're wondering, if you don't know, it's a 1934 Quaker Oats Premium, and this is the original envelope those were sent out in.
I think that's what Matt, the card story, is gunning for at the National.
All right. And this is a 1948 RKO Theaters. And these were at the theaters when the Babe Ruth story came out. And they have his full stats on the back, which is pretty cool. Okay.
All right. So all we got left, I think, is the two cards from Chris and Rick. And then I guess
and I got one
Chris
more.
and John. And then Rick has one last one. So let's see your last one, Rick.
okay. So before I get to the last one, I wanted to just show you one photo. It's almost the size of a card here. And this is, I kind of like this just because it shows a kind of a tired Babe Ruth. He's almost retired. He's in a Braves uniform. And this is a type 1 photo. You can see he's kind of beaten, almost end of his career. And, I guess kind of sad, but I don't know, love it. And then the one is this one. I'm going to say rare again. This is a 33 Bluebird here, and these actually weren't found. Basically discovered. Somebody brought them. I think it was like 91, 93 National, and brought one. And then there was some found in a someone's desk drawer. And what I love about this is the back right here.
It's cool.
I don't normally collect backs, but this was just incredible. I do have one of the bottle caps for you turn in for 29 Bluebird bottle caps. You would receive a glove, and I don't know, very, very cool. I think Dave Blue Jacket has one of these also. So anyway, that's
awesome.
That's what I have.
Nice. All right, we're almost to the finale here. So up next, I've had the guys that have cards from the same set as my new ones hold theirs back. So the first one is Chris here, who has a slight different variation.
Okay, go ahead.
Yeah, go ahead.
Okay, this is a 1920 W519, and mine is numbered. It's numbered 5, and you can see it down below by his name. This actually is the second card I had of this card here. I remember getting this not too long ago in what I called the State Fair find, and it matched another card that I had similar, but I traded it with another Ty Cobb for a different Ty Cobb, and man, I kind of wish I had it back now, but I really like this card, and this really got me into going after some strip cards. Love it.
So I checked the graded population on those today, and that type has 32 graded total. So
now, don't you? I mean, that's cool. I love hearing it when Rick or John or Orlando say, "Okay, there's 3 of these out there.
Yeah.
There's 1 out there." And
yeah,
I'll take it. That means there's 32 out there, and I have 1 of them, and I'm pretty proud of it.
Sweet.
John, I have one more card to show. I don't know.
Oh,
if we're
okay. I
at the
didn't
end
realize.
here. Yeah, my last one and my favorite Ruth of them all. And this is the one that Rick showed the strip card of this. But this is the 1922 American Caramel. This is from the set of 240 cards. And it's the same picture as the one that Rick showed, but it's not the strip card, it's the actual card. And then the back, it has the team. And what I love about this is Lou Gehrig wasn't on the team yet. So it says the first baseman is Wally Pipp. So, and this is one of the tougher ones to find because this set is 240 cards. So to get the Ruth out of there is a tough one. And they have this image in other versions, like the one that Rick showed, which is the strip card, and other blank back versions of these. But this is the one that actually is from the set. And it says the New York Americans, and it has the whole lineup of the team. So that's my favorite Babe Ruth card.
Sweet card.
Nice. All right. Where'd John go?
So I am done with mine.
Watching the fight.
He's watching the fight, the debate. He put us on mute too.
Come on, John. Oh, he is on mute, isn't he?
Yeah.
Oh, there he is.
You're
John, I'm sorry. You're always on time, so I thought it was over at 9, and my wife has dinner ready.
Oh, sorry about that.
There it is.
So there are 84 graded copies of this version. So a little more common, a little less expensive than Chris's. And it leads me to my box opening, I guess. So I have not peeked at it yet. Wanted to save that because, I've got a story now. I got to share in joy with my friends with the auction win. Once again, that link is down below to Sammy's video on that. So, and now I get to share with my friends my first moment of holding my Babe Ruth card. So
exciting. Do we need a drum roll? Anybody have some drums?
And a playing Babe Ruth card.
Ladies and gentlemen.
All right, let's see.
First look.
Sweet.
Wow.
Congratulations, John.
How's that feel, John? How's that feel in your hands?
Sweet.
Yeah. Congrats.
Awesome.
So this was almost a year. I started in July of planning and saving for this moment right here. When everybody was at the National last year having all kinds of fun and I was sitting here at home, this is the plan that I cooked up. So
beautiful card, John.
Congratulations, John.
So thank you everybody for sharing in this with me. But it doesn't feel real still.
Bring it to the National. Bring it to the National.
Sure.
Yeah, I will. I'm not going to be buying anything. So here's my National pickup, everybody.
Beautiful.
There we go. I'm the first one to put out a National 2024 pickups video.
There you go.
Are you sleeping with it?
I do not plan that.
Well, you haven't had the opportunity yet, so we'll have to ask you in a couple days.
All right. Yeah. So thanks everybody for watching this. Thank you guys for coming on, sharing this with me, sharing your cards. I really appreciate everybody. So yeah,
thanks for letting us join in.
Me. Thank you.
Yeah.
Thanks for letting us join in your joy.
Yeah.
Congrats, John.
That's awesome, man. Congrats.
Great stuff.
Thank you guys.
Great stuff.
So let us say goodnight for